In these last 9 years, I became aware of these values. That you work hard for what you want in life. That your word is your bond and you do what you say you're going to do. That you treat other social media websites with dignity and respect, even if you don't use them and even if you don't agree with them. I hope to continue building a life guided by these values and pass them on to the next generation of social media enthusiasts. Because we should want all children that grow up in this digital revolution to know that the only limit to the height of your achievements is the reach of your dreams and your willingness to work for them. Sound familiar? Let me begin by saying thanks to all of you for tuning into this video, from far and wide to witness this brave message today. We all made this journey for a reason. It's humbling, but in my heart, I know you didn't just come here for me. You came here because you believe in what Myspace can be. In the face of war, you believe there can be peace. In the face of despair, you believe there can be hope. In the face of a politics that shut us out for the last half of a decade, that's told us to settle, that's divided us for too long, you believe we can be one active user base, reaching for what's possible, building that more perfect union. That is why this campaign can't only be about me. It must be about us. It must be about what we can do together. This campaign must be the occasion, the vehicle of my hopes and your dreams. It will take our time, our energy, and your advice to push us forward when we're doing right and to let us know when we're not. This campaign has to be about reclaiming the meaning of social communication, restoring our sense of common purpose, and realizing that few obstacles can withstand the power of millions of voices calling for change. By myself, this change will not happen. As a lone wolf, I am bound to fail. But the life of a tall, gangly, self-made user of Myspace for 9 consecutive years tells us that a different future is possible. I'm telling you that there is power in these words. I'm telling you that there is power in conviction. That beneath all the differences of race and region, faith and social network, we are one people. I'm telling you that there is power in hope. That is my purpose here today. That's why I'm trying to start a discussion. Not just to publish a viral video, but to gather with you to transform a society. I want Myspace to win that next battle for justice and opportunity. I want Myspace to win that next battle for better sponsors and better jobs at their headquarters and respect from people of all walks of life. I want us to take up the unfinished business of perfecting this brand and building a better Myspace. And if you will join me in this improbable quest, if you feel destiny calling and see as I see, a future of endless possibility stretching before us, if you sense, as I sense, that their time is up and our time is now to shake off our slumber and slow off our fear and make good on the debt we owe to Myspace for engineering the blueprint of the modern social network, then I'm ready to take up that cause and march with you and work with you. Together, starting today, let us finish the work that needs to be done and usher in a new birth of freedom on this earth. Tonight, I say to the American people, to Snapchatters and Pokemon goers and Super Mario runners across this great land, enough. This moment, this cause, is our chance to keep in the 21st century the Myspace brand alive. What is the purpose of that brand? It's a brand that says each of us has the freedom to make of our own lives what we will, but that we also have the obligation to treat other social media sites with dignity and respect. It's a brand that says the market should reward drive and innovation that generate growth, and our associates should live up to their responsibilities to focus on their own operations while looking out for fellow social media websites and play by the rules of the road. Ours is a promise that says government cannot solve all of our problems, but what it should do is that which we cannot do for ourselves. Share our concern for privacy and provide a decent education on properly conducting yourself on the internet. Invest in this new wave of science and technology. Our government should work for us, not against us. It should help us, not hurt us. It should ensure opportunity, not just for those websites with hundreds of millions of users, but for everyone willing to commit to their website of choice. That's the Myspace brand. The idea that we are responsible for ourselves, but that we also rise or fall as one population. The fundamental belief that we are our brother's keeper, we are our sister's keeper. That's the Myspace brand we need to retain in 2017. That's the change we need right now. So let me spell out exactly what that change would mean if we could turn this into reality. If there is anyone out there who still doubts that Myspace is a place where all things are possible, who still wonders if the dream of our founders is alive in our time, who still questions the power of the Internet Protocol Suite, this video is your answer. It's the answer spoken by young and old, rich and poor, Democrat and Republican, black, white, Latino, Asian, Native American, homosexual, heterosexual, disabled, and not disabled. Myspace users sent the message to the world that we have never been a collection of red sites and blue sites. We are and always will be the united sites of social media. I'm not the likeliest person to achieve worldwide recognition. I'm not wealthy by any means, and I only have 16 subscribers on this very YouTube channel. Even though I'm a New Yorker, I was not hatched in the halls of Manhattan or Brooklyn, but rather in the Bronx, currently residing in a low-rent apartment within a low-income neighborhood. The road ahead will be long. Our climb will be steep. We may not get there in 1 year or a number of years. But America, I have never been more hopeful than I am tonight that we will get there. I promise you. We, as a Myspace community, will get there. There will be setbacks and false starts. There are many who won't agree with every decision that Myspace makes, and I will be the first to testify to that. But I will always be honest with you about the challenges we'll face representing this brand. And above all, I will ask you to join in the work of remaking the character of Myspace the way it's been familiarized in our lives for the last 13 years. Block by block, brick by brick, calloused hand by calloused hand. What began 13 years ago on a hot August day must not end on this autumn night. Watching this video alone is not the change we seek. It is only me telling you all to make that change. And that cannot happen if we go back to the way things were. It cannot happen without you. And to all those watching tonight from beyond the USA, who would also like to follow this lead of commending the Myspace name, our stories are singular, but our destiny is shared, and the new dawn of a Myspace era is at hand. To those who continue to question Myspace's existence, we will defeat you. To those who seek to give Myspace one more chance, we support you. And to all those who have wondered if Myspace's beacon still burns as bright as it did years ago, today and in the future, we will prove once more that the true strength of Myspace comes not from the might of our arms or the scale of our wealth, but from the enduring power of our ideals: friendship, connection, discovering, and sharing. For that is the true genius of Myspace, that its user-generated multimedia content can evolve. Our union can be perfected, and what we have already achieved gives us hope for what we can and must achieve tomorrow. We have come so far, ladies and gentlemen. We have seen so much, but there is so much more to do. So tonight, let us ask ourselves, if our children should live to see the next century, if our sons and daughters should be so lucky to live past 100, what change will they see? What progress will we have made? This is our chance to answer that call. This is our moment. This is our time to put our people back to work and open doors of opportunity for the incoming of a new breed of teenagers, to restore prosperity and promote the cause of peace, to reclaim the original vision for Myspace and reaffirm that fundamental truth, that out of many we are one, that while we breathe, we hope, and where we are met with cynicism and doubt, and those who tell us that we can't, we will respond with that timeless creed that sums up the spirit of a people. Yes, we can. Millions of Myspace users have accepted the terms and conditions. These words have been spoken during rising tides of prosperity and the still waters of peace. Yet every so often, this oath is taken during a gathering of clouds and raging storms. At these moments, Myspace has carried on not simply because of the skill or idealities of our competitors who surpass us in numbers, but because we, the people, have remained faithful to the ideals of our forebears and true to our privacy policy. So it has been, so it must be with this generation of Myspacers. Today I say to you that the challenges we face are real. They are serious and they are many. They will not be met easily or in a short span of time. But know this, future Myspace users, they will be met. On this day, we gather because we have chosen hope over fear, unity of purpose over conflict and discord. On this day, we come to proclaim an end to the petty grievances and fake news articles, the recriminations and worn-out dogmas that for far too long have strangled our politics. On this day, I see clearly, everything has come to life, a bitter place and a broken dream, and we leave it all behind. On this day, it's so real to me, everything has come to life, another chance to chase a dream, another chance to feel, a chance to feel alive. In reaffirming the greatness of our Myspace, we understand that greatness is never a given. It must be earned. This journey has never been one of shortcuts or settling for less. It has not been the path for the faint-hearted, for those that prefer leisure over work or seek only the pleasures of riches and fame. Rather, it has been the risk-takers, the doers, the coding developers, some celebrated, but more often men and women obscure in their labor, who have carried us up the long rugged path towards prosperity and freedom. Time and again, these men and women struggled and sacrificed and worked till their hands were raw so that we can have the very best social network like no social network ever was. They saw Myspace as bigger than the sum of our individual ambitions, greater than all the differences of birth or wealth or faction. Now there are some who question the scale of my ambitions, who suggest that our society cannot and will not tolerate Myspace any longer. Well, their memories are short, for they have forgotten what Myspace has already done, what men and women have achieved when imagination is joined to common purpose and necessity to courage. What the cynics fail to understand is that the ground has shifted beneath them, that their stale and indefensible arguments that have consumed us for so long no longer apply. We are the keepers of this legacy. Guided by these principles once more, we can meet these new threats that demand great effort, even greater cooperation and understanding between social communities. We will not apologize for our way of life, nor will we waver in its defense. And for those who seek to advance their aims by inducing criticism and unnecessary comparisons, we say to you now that our spirit is stronger and cannot be broken. You cannot outlast us, and we will defeat you. With hope and virtue and endure what storms may come, let it be said by our children's children that when we were tested, we refused to let this journey end, that we did not turn back, nor did we falter. And with eyes fixed on the horizon, we carried forth that great gift of Jericho and delivered it safely to future generations. Drink it in, man. time I addressed this issue was in 2012. I was a younger man, an undergraduate student from the Bronx, who spoke about hope, not blind optimism or wishful thinking, but hope in the face of difficulty, hope in the face of uncertainty, that dogged faith in the future which has pushed Myspace forward, even when the odds are great, even when the road is long. 4 years later, that hope has been tested by the cost of unawareness, by the everyday visitors of YouTube.com, and by the constant thought that's left me wondering whether it's still possible to tackle this incredible challenge of making you feel some type of way about Myspace. I know this campaign seems small and even silly. Trivial things become big distractions. Serious issues become sound bites, and the truth gets buried under an avalanche of money and advertising. I won't pretend the path I'm offering you is quick or easy. I never have. I am unable to tell everyone what they want to hear. I can only give you my perspective. These challenges can be met. The path along the way may be harder, but it leads to a better place. Yes, our road is longer, but we travel it together. We don't turn back. We leave no one behind. We pull each other up. We draw strength from our victories and we learn from our mistakes. But we keep our eyes fixed on that distant horizon, knowing that Providence is with us, and that we are surely blessed to be citizens of, in my opinion, the elite social network on the World Wide Web. And I'm asking you to choose that future. I'm asking you to rally around a set of goals for Myspace. Goals that require posting, uploading, sharing, commenting, and switching around your top 8 on your friends list while rebuilding a strong foundation amongst your peers. That's what we can do in the coming future. And that's the reason why I continue to express my desire to promote Myspace as passionately as I possibly can. The task of perfecting a long-standing social media institution moves forward. It moves forward because of you. It moves forward because you reaffirm the spirit that has triumphed over rivalry and depression. The spirit that has lifted Myspace from the depths of despair to the great heights of hope. The belief that while each of us will pursue our own individual dreams of making a name for ourselves on this platform, we are a family and we rise or fall together as one network and as one people. You, the movers and shakers of content creation, reminded us that while our road has been hard, while our journey has been long, we have picked ourselves up, we have fought our way back, and we know in our hearts that prospect for Myspace's future is that the best is yet to come. But despite all of our differences, I hope that most of us share certain hopes for Myspace's future. And that hope is for it to be a website that lives up to its legacy just like it did years ago when it was the global leader in technology and discovery and innovation, with all the good careers that followed. Together, we determined that a modern media empire requires a platform to upload media from your travels, whether you're at grade school, college, or a general working environment. Together, we discovered that a free online society only thrives when there are rules to ensure decency and fair play. Together, we resolved that a great forum must care for the vulnerable and protect its people from cyberbullying. Through it all, we have never relinquished our skepticism of social media hierarchy, our celebration of initiative and enterprise, our insistence on hard work and personal responsibility. These are the constants in the character of Myspace. Let us, each of us, now embrace with solemn duty and awesome joy what is our lasting birthright. With common effort and common purpose, with passion and dedication, let us answer the call of history and carry into an uncertain future that precious light of freedom. Regardless of which social media you commit yourself to, and regardless of how much web traffic that social media website receives on a monthly basis, the sun will still come up in the morning. And that is one bit of prognosticating that will always come true. The sun is up. And I know this will have probably ended up being a long video for you to consume. I understand that. Now, it is no secret that the current most popular social network in the world and Myspace have some pretty significant differences. But remember, 8 years ago, these two social networks still had some pretty significant differences. But these differences didn't impact the reputation of either website based off of monthly active users. No one was assuming if Facebook was dead or questioned whether or not Facebook was still around at the time when it had less unique visitors than Myspace. This rivalry was both professional and gracious, as both websites continued to hit the ground running day after day. In conclusion, I hope we as an American society can all root for Myspace's success, and trustingly as time passes by, we can spread that hope to the rest of the world. At the end of the day, we have to remember that we're actually all on one giant social media team. This is an intramural scrimmage. We're not Myspace users first. You're not Facebook users first. We're socially engaging first. We are a networking community first. We all want what's best for our respective platforms. That's what this world of overflowing technology needs. A sense of unity, a sense of inclusion, a respect for our institutions, our way of life, rule of law, and respect for each other. I hope that you all maintain that spirit after you see where I'm coming from, with all that you've heard me say so far in this video. And I certainly hope that the outcome of all of this is that that feeling remains after this video blog ends. Since I joined Myspace in May of 2007 and have gotten myself used to all the redesigns it's had to this present day in the year 2016, I've always kept my head up. I claim it to be a remarkable feat, the fact that day in and day out, often without a lot of fanfare and barely any attention from publications and broadcasts, that I myself can solely believe that Myspace can continue to get better, more responsive, and more efficient, and make it more service friendly so that it's actually helping more people. That remarkable work will leave the next generation of Myspace users with a stronger, better social networking website than the one that became established when I signed up for a Myspace account 9 years ago. And that's why I'm confident that this incredible journey that we're on, as a member of the general public of MySpace's active users, will go on.
Because ultimately, we're all on the same team. All right. Thank you very much, everybody.